Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2019 Women's Tour episode number 10. We're at the beginning of our new season, so we've got our preseason work to get done. That'll take up a good chunk of what we're doing for this episode. We'll have some time lapses, some jump cuts as we go through to help kind of speed that process along so you don't have to sit through the whole thing. But of course, we're still a basic low-level continental team, and a lot of my riders of the past, well, they're more likely to sit out all or most of the season, and a lot of the new riders are going to kind of take over. So we have some training issues. I have two new staff, well, one remaining staff member and replaced the other one, and so we had one 15,000 international reputation, excellent trainer we can't afford. I replaced the 15,000 with a 2,500 regional. They're both at that maximum of 8 riders that they can train before they lose effectiveness. And that's left me with 2 riders that have no trainer at all. So Olivia Cummins and Ava Sykes, who both have no potential, are both nothing but domestiques anyway. They actually made some progress last season. They were both 55s, so it doesn't take much to go from a nothing to a nothing that's actually a little bit something. But we see that Ta Perez, well, she's groundbreaking, and her trainer is the lower modern one, and so is Watabi. But we do see that Megan Jastrab is also struggling a bit, so maybe we'll swap Jastrab and Ta Perez. Actually, maybe not Ta Perez, even though you're 18, 2.5. Well, Tabi, I think, 4.7. We'll switch Watabi. Let's do that now. So, switch with Tabi, and we'll try to switch Jastrab. There we go. That keeps it at 8.8. Give that a shot. Ta Perez, I think you're kind of stuck. At least you have a trainer. So, training's already taken care of. And in terms of what we have, right? The base, Heidi Franz is our best climber. 67, 68. She's got a little bit of competition when it comes to hills. Malkova, Kelly can climb a little bit. We still have nothing in time trial, though Jastrab's a little better than what we had previously. Madison Kelly is our classics rider. Not that that's good. There's the one thing. That's like the only thing that we're going to be a little more effective at this season is we have a capable sprinter. And with Malkova and Savage and Doherty and France, Klaus was the best we had before. We have a little bit of a lead out. We have a flat rider in Heidi Franz who can turn a little bit of pace. You combine all that, we'll actually get a little bit of a lead out, can kind of stay in front of the field. If you didn't notice last season, over and over and over again, we'd get to those final 3-4 kilometers and they'd be going flat out, 99, maybe even sprint. The other teams just cruise right up past us because we are that slow pace-wise. So even at a 99, we weren't able to get out front. Now we should be a little more capable of at least getting out front, and then with a proper sprinter, albeit not a great one, we should be way more competitive. So, I mean, despite how bad we were, I still managed to pull occasional 3rd places and 5th places and consistently still top 10s. So we should consistently have top 5s or podiums. I don't know how often we'll win. The continental races, though, are far more winnable for us. and overall we should be much more capable of grabbing at least some sprint victories this season, which is really the easiest to do anyway. The other stuff, it's going to come in time. Preseason, this is easy. Everyone goes to very high, and if you're not doing that in your own games, you're doing it wrong. Be sure to check out my tutorial on preseason setup to know why this matters so much. But after this, we're going to push forward a day. I don't think I'm going to mess with the objectives this year. Might have a couple riders with some choices. Colorado. I think a lot of this is going to come down to what does our sponsor think about this year. Tour Tequila is the big one. And it's a stage win. Do we have some sprint stages? There's a couple. That's clearly our best chance, is those 2 sprint stages. The punchy 1st and 5th, though. How are they? Yeah, we're not winning that. That's more doable. We've got about 3 stages where we've got a chance. Okay, that's a sprint stage. That's the time trial, and that's the other sprint stage. Not easy. Top 10 at the USA Championships. Ouch. Maybe. Top 10s are always the easiest thing to do, but that's a single race. Stage win on a double. Punchy stage win with only 1 sprint stage. That's a little more doable. Top 10 on a 73-kilometer sprint. Very doable. That's kind of the only one of those top 5 that I'm looking at going, oh yeah, we got that. Top 5s. See, the objectives are getting tougher. How so? Like, we're still the little nothing continental team, right? Okay. That's after August. We don't have to worry about that. So, the top 10 at the USA, stage win, Cascade Cycling, that's very doable. 1 sprint stage, that's going to be tough. Top 5 with 2 mountain stages, probably not happening. Boy, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to get some proper results this season. Yeah, these are much bigger demands than a year ago. Much bigger. What do we think about the squad, though? You're happy with Heidi France. The USA also, you want to see more riders from the US. Almost the whole team is from the US. Yikes. Okay. Right? I mean, we're still... Yeah. 3, 6, 9, 12 U.S. riders. 12. Including our 4 best riders are all from the U.S. And you're already complaining about the amount of foreigners we have on the team. Man, that is... that is so... a U.S. complaint. Oh, yeah. We are probably the most racist country on the planet, by far. And it's almost entirely pocket racism, right? Everybody thinks that they're not racist, and they are. And I know this is a nationalist issue at the moment, but it really comes down to a racism issue where that nationalism is born. Anyway, different topic. We're not going political here. All right, so we've already taken care of that. The calendar, well, there's some tricky parts to the calendar. We can definitely keep up with 2 races at a time. So I'm a little overloaded on talent. There's a lot of U23s in here. This is actually a pretty busy calendar this year compared to last. That's the Natties. Okay. We still have no profile, so I don't think we're going to really be able to get into too many races. So we won't bother with that. We'll take what we have. I think that sets me up for probably getting into the planning stages here. So we have some R&D to do. Canyon Shimano. I have moved on to... Where's my equipment? There we go. New sponsors. We have Canyon. We have Shimano as our primaries. And it looks like we already have some R&D to kick off. So they have some 2020s. Lightness, that's good here. But we have nothing for aero outside of the time trial, and that is really bad. This frame is awful for climbing. We have nothing for climbing. I mean, what are we doing? So, our time trial bike's good. And, sorry, we have our lightness. We have our climbing frame. And I suppose Canyon's good for that, right? Do a lot of mountain biking. We have nothing for classics. And nothing for sprint stages. I really need a sprint stage bike. So we're going to go major redesign of model. Okay. All we can do is minor changes? Seriously? We need a new model, period. Minor changes aren't going to do us anything. This is the versatile frame. The other two are good. This one hasn't been done since 2013, the Speed Max. It's a good aero bike already, it's just not reliable. Try, I suppose, a redesign there. It's the only older one. It's the only major work we could do. Now, in the wheels, we actually have a good amount of selection here. In fact, look, we have... Interesting how that is. This one's better. It's just not quite as good as the Pro Disc. But they're both good already. We've got some excellent wheels for mountain stages. Got an excellent one for cobble. The only thing here is it's averaging very bad. And we do have an aero one. We do have a couple combo. This is excellent choices. I'm going to take our combo here and try to develop it. It's a little older. Or do we want to redesign the aero one, which would suit? See if we can boost this up a little bit. Let's do that. C75. Especially as we're a sprint team, first and foremost this season. So we'll go for major changes. Start R&D. And there you go. That's enough to put us into January 2nd. Alright, R&D, new model. All right, 1 day in the books. By the way, what a boost to the balance this off season. Our bumper payment, our off season bumper payment was massive. I mean, it's like $400K or something like that. That's gonna get us through this season, no problem. So I don't mind so much that I overspent now, because that was a huge investment. And by the way, we have Shimano for the group set as well. Shimano, so far, looks like it really paid off. The Canyon one, oh man, I'm not liking the lack of frames. The wheels are great. We've got two total frame options. I mean, come on. And it's a 2-year deal. So, ouch. Alright. I need to break down the team and what I want from this team. So, I'll go ahead and do my planner work off camera. But the thought process, what's going into it, I think we'll break that down within the episode here. And again, as weak as the team is, I won't be as invested to this. But we can do it right from this screen right here, going into the individual riders. I've already eliminated my one from last year, and the last year's was, well, there wasn't much to it. I jotted down a few notes. Heidi Franz is one of my top riders. 69 overall, but she's still just a Barrador. So, looking at this, well, is she more than that? Great on the flat. So, I'm going to have, I don't know, more into my normal mountain, hills. I don't really have any sort of TT, but we'll try. I'm going to combine my TT Prologue group this year. And then we'll have classics. Sprint. And probably just lead out in separate. So Heidi Franz and I might have a discard group. So a domestique and the nothing doing group. All right. Let me take care of the domestique / nothing. Harden's going to contribute. Hickey is just a 60, but has some potential. A 64 flat might fit in, but so Hickey could be a domestique. Jastrap's going to contribute. Kelly's going to contribute. Malkova, Savage. Okay, Schmid is only a 59. Low potential. So Schmid is a throwaway. Schmid's not going to be involved. Contract expiring this year, fortunately. Sykes is another one. I feel bad, but they are tossaways. I have too many riders. Top Perez has a little more potential and can actually climb a little bit. So Top Perez is a bit of a domestique, but will fit into those teams, the domestique on like a mountain stage. Watabi, even though low, Watabi is absolutely a domestique that I want to get involved because Watabi has tremendous potential. Youngworth making some rapid progress. I think Youngworth was a 60 or a 61 at the start of last season, or worse, maybe a 59, and only a 2 to 5. It's got to be closer to that 5, I would think, with the rapid progress here. And Youngworth will be involved, especially. Iroud is going to be another domestique type who can climb a bit. Brookshire is going to be involved. Buke. This is the rider that we followed last season in scouting. Not really good at anything, but will be eventually. Klaus. Lead out. I'm going to just put that in right now. Cummins, another one who's not going to be involved. So 3 riders that are definitely out. And we're back to Heidi France. All right, so first stage of the process is done. Schmid, Sykes, Cummins aren't going to be involved at all. They're going to be super ticked at me, but they are all being released at the end of the year. Please tell me that their contracts all expire this year. So those 3 are being left out completely. Will not pick up any race time. And then that thins the team down a little bit. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 riders. That's still too many. That's still 10 to 12 is about max for a team our size, what we should have. So 15 is crazy. Of those, I have 5 that are pretty much pure domestiques. Hickey, for that matter, even though Hickey's at a 60. Hickey has potential. That was the point. Top Perez, not as much, but can climb. So Top Perez kind of has something that others do not. But it's going to be limited. So Top Perez and Hickey aren't going to be used much. They're going to get pretty limited time. And then for their sake, part of the only reason why they're in is they're a little better off. Hickey, though, flat, right? Hickey's going to be lead out only and kind of bottom end. So that's where Hickey's going to get used, and Top Perez, it's going to be climbing, but only mountain. Okay, so that takes care of those 2. Iroud, that's not enough. Especially with that too early. Iroud is going to be also, but kind of a step above, much more often than Top Perez because of the better potential. She'll springboard past her. And then She's labeled as a sprinter. What do I have her training on? Climbing. Okay, see, I already took care of that. So that'll be reclassified pretty soon. Buke. Okay, so Buke is kind of shite at everything. Climbing is what I've picked her for, so that's where we'll put her. But she's going to be kind of down in that top Perez area. Used a little less. She's going to have to develop a bit before she comes up. And Watabi is absolutely climbing through and through. And she'll be up there with Iyer because of the world class, right? Buke is... Oh, Buke is really high. Oh, shoot. I gotta make sure. Okay, so Top Perez is really the only one who's way lower. Alright, so that's our lowest domestiques. Hickey's gonna get a bit because Hickey's that domestique for the flat. Though, Watabi, Irud, and Buke will feature a bit as domestiques on a flat stage just because they need race days. Alright, that brings us up to Klaus, who is lead out only. Do I want her on time trial, team time trial kind of stuff? No, not really. And her potential is very low, so she's really just lead out, nothing more. That makes sense, especially at just a 63. Alright, that brings us up to Youngworth, who can climb, who can sprint, who has downhill, who has stamina. She's got the best stamina of all, so Youngworth is going to do a bit. Potential-wise, not much more coming out of her, but no hills, so Youngworth, low-level mountain stuff. In fact, she's kind of down there with TP, isn't she? Put her down there. TP, less frequent. We have sprint, so lead out. But she'll be lower level on classics. Okay, Doherty, one of our new ones. Good potential, not great, not a climber, not a time trialist, no classics. Much stronger lead out. Not good enough to be the sprinter though. Berkshire can kind of climb. No potential though. So we're going to leave her out of that mix. Downhill and Barrador is all you're going to do for us. Berkshire is kind of out of a job. I have nothing for Berkshire to do. That was harsh discovery. 66 on the flat. That's early lead out. But that's like down around Hickey. Wow, okay. Well, that was unexpected. Savage. No, Savage is high potential. Can climb. Can sprint. So Savage. Okay. And low level sprinter. Definite lead out. Okay, my only time trialist is Jastrab. But Harden also can prologue at least. And then Franz a bit lower, along with Malkova, Savage, Kelly. Okay, that takes care of that whole sequence. Alright, the last 5 riders. Not the way that I normally do this, by the way, but I'm kind of checking potential as much as anything, just because we have way too much. Way too many riders, and I think Brookshire is kind of getting added to that list of not going to race this season, except maybe once or twice. Hickey's not going to be much better, or Top Perez for that matter. Kind of looking at the list, I think Top Perez is just about done now. Okay, Malkova, you are very much a puncher. And a good sprinter like Savage. Our second best. Well, you and Savage are equal, but you're even better on the flat, so. So Malkova's going to be pretty busy this season. Madison Kelly is one of our best climbers and second best puncher. And is our best classics rider. Okay, Harden, still one of my best climbers. But it's amazing how far down she's just dropped in the big scheme of things. Just nice, because she was literally the only rider who really did anything last season at all. Lower level lead out. Okay, finally, Jastrab is sprinter. Nothing more. And Franz is going to be kind of our main GC rider this year. Since I have a lot of climbers that I didn't have before. And actually can kind of sprint, but that won't be your focus. Alright, well, that gives me my groundwork in order to do our planner, set everything up. I'll get those correct riders into the right races. And for the sponsor piece, It's Heidi Franz. Heidi Franz is the popular one. Is there anybody else in that? Oh, wow, she's no Continental. Hardin District. Addison Kelly's district. Malkova's district. But there's a huge jump to Heidi Franz. She is by far our big pickup. So, a well-known rider. And just 22 years of age. So even though she's not really excelling anywhere, it's still going to be an improvement for us, like I said, climbing especially. But her biggest strength for us is going to be popularity. So Heidi Franz is the one and only. We need to get her into all those sponsor objectives, especially the American races. But that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for tuning in. I know we didn't get any races in this time, but building your calendar is so important in career mode. Using the planner. I know there's some riders that don't use it at all, but it is hugely, hugely important to setting up your season and keeping your sponsor happy. And for us, the registered riders part, it's going to be all about Heidi Franz, as she is the one and only popular rider on the team, and she's going to help us out so much in that area. So sponsor objectives, Heidi Franz will largely feature into all of those races. And then we'll get her into all the climbing ones besides that. Be safe out there. Hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Bye for now.